Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a detailed review on the Shark TurboBlade Cool Heat fan. So I did buy this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. It retails for $400. In this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble it. Then we're going to check how well it heats and go through all the settings. But I do use links. So if you purchase this product using a link off of my website, justadadapproved.com, or in the description or in the pop-up in this video, the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. So this is the Shark TurboBlade Cool Heat. It's got a built-in heater, which we can turn on and off. We got a remote control, but we do have some assembly first. So let's go through and put it all together. Here's everything that comes in the box. We got a remote control with 2 batteries, quick start guide. We got these 2 blades we got to install. Here's the heater unit, and this is the base. This is a little bit heavy, but we're going to be putting this on top of here first. And it does have a cord that is 6 feet long or 184 centimeters. 2-prong. Let's check the wattage. 1,500 watts is what it consumes when the heater's on. Here's what it looks like. There is an electrical connection up here. There's the fan. There's a connection right there. That's what that connection's for. But let's place, we're going to line up the red dots. So there's a red dot here, and there's a red dot here. Okay, red dot, set it on the base, and you got to turn it till it clicks. So hold the base and rotate this, and now that's attached. There's what the bottom of the base looks like. Now we can take this sticker off. So there's a triangle and there's a circle. So you're going to line it with the circle over here. So align it, and you'll see that square is going to go down into that. But align these. Now rotate till it clicks into place. And now this is all nice and flush, and we can remove this sticker. There's some more stickers here. This is for a little filter. This is where it draws the air in for the fan. Yeah, there's a little filter on here that you'll have to clean once in a while. It does come off. Yeah, you can wash this and let it dry. Put it back, and then it rotates into place. This is also the carrying handle right here. Okay, so we've got to take off some of this sticker here. We got to remove this piece of tape. We can rotate this. This sticker here left its residue behind. So you may have to kind of grab this other part here. I wish that would have all came off. That might take a little extra work. So if you can grab it, there it comes off. Then rotate it. You can turn it. There's a red arrow and a red arrow. You're going to line up the red arrows. And now it's clicked in. It clicked into place. But now I can rotate this wherever I want the heat. Red arrow to red arrow. Push in until it clicks. And now I can rotate. Up here is a lever. So when you want to go to heat, that's going to direct airflow out the heater. When you want to do cool or just fan, you're going to rotate this. Now there won't be any air come out the heater. Air will only come out the side vents. This just directs the vent where you want the heat to go straight on, to the left, or to the right. And so now you're going to choose, do you want it to be like this? And then you can rotate these. You could have airflow going out that way, airflow going out that way, or straight on. You can rotate it like that. And again, you could have one going up, airflow going up. The heat's always going to come out this way, or maybe more of a vertical pattern. But the ceramic heater you can see is right there. So the heat only comes out in this area right here. But we can move these. This does have oscillation. We have a remote control and a display there. All right, let's take the tape off and go over the display. I've got it plugged in. So, all right, let's install the remote batteries. 2 AAA batteries. You can see the negative goes there and the positive, and then the opposite on this one. I couldn't get the touch screen to work, but maybe we got to turn it on with this first. Now it kind of shows. Now I can see where the touch buttons were, so they're a little hard to see when it's off. But I can adjust the fan speed. I can adjust the display brightness. There's 4 levels of brightness. There's 3 oscillation: 45 degree, 90, or 180, or 0. And then I can turn it off. Yeah, the power button is kind of lit, so it goes back to a center. Looks like when you turn it off, it goes back to a centered. So the power. So with the lights off, you can see the power button does show. And now, again, there's the brightness. So you can't turn the display off, but you can turn it really low. And then up here, this is where I'm going to turn. So yeah, this is the heat. So as soon as I rotate that, it turns the heater on automatically. This isn't a switch, but it's like a lever. So rotating it, there's cool air, there's heat. Now it turns the heater on. I can control the temperature now. So 90 degrees is the max. Like there is really good heat coming out of there right now. So after it heated up for a little bit, then this fan kind of kicked up to a higher speed. Now it's a little bit faster heat coming out, but it wasn't like that at the very beginning. Now, when you're in heat mode, there's no airflow coming out here. But as soon as I turn this switch up here, that turns it now to cool. There's no air coming out here. Now the air is coming out these vents only. And my display changes to blue, and now it's just a fan that you turn the fan speed up or down. But as soon as I rotate this, turns the heater on and the airflow comes out here. Boy, that feels really good. Now I do like the remote. It's got a nice display on it, and it has the mode button. We don't have a mode button on the dock, but here we have 3 modes. And what that's going to do, when you're in heat mode, the modes are comfort or soothing warmth for sustained use. When I press the mode button, there's that display there. It's a little hard to see. Yeah, you can see it there it is. If I press the mode button, there's like a house. That means focused, powerful, directed heat. So now I could tell that fan kicked up, and if I press it again, it goes into temperature set. So then I can set the temperature. But when I'm in these modes, I can't set the temperature. So basically in heat mode, you have 3 modes. You have a mode where you can set the temperature, and once the room gets to that temperature, it turns the heater off. And then once it drops it down below, it turns it on, so it maintains a certain temperature. Or you can go to these modes, but the modes don't let you select. No, the modes don't let you select temperature. Maybe they do. It seems like it turns the mode off. Yeah. It turns that mode off whenever you start selecting the temperature. Yeah, it's not super loud, but boy, is it hot. Let's go back to cool. Now, I've got modes with cooling too. There's sleep. So you can go into sleep mode only when it's in cool. There's that powerful, they call it the breeze boost. for a powerful, yeah, definitely. And then I can go back to, this is just a gentle breeze. It's got that symbol there. Or if I can go to a fan speed. So this, I select the fan speed all the way up to 10. There's what 10 feels like. And then let's go down. You have to point the remote kind of at the base. Let's go all the way to 1. There's the lowest fan setting. Now, there's not much air coming out, but you can kind of hear a little bit of a whine noise. Not too bad though. Now this does have a timer. You can cycle through the different times where it'll automatically shut off 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, 5, or 8. I can turn it off from here. Oscillating, I can do the oscillating from here. And it shows you 90. So I like that this display on the remote mimics that display. And then let's say you want to just move it a little bit. So say you're sitting far away and you're like, I want that heat to be pointed right here. You can move it just by pressing that little arrow. That's going to move it a little bit each time. Then so if you were sitting across the room, you could direct that right at you. So that's kind of nice. If you want to mute the chimes, you're going to press and hold the oscillate and the timer button at the same time. And again, the remote is magnetic. Ooh, that's a really strong magnet too. So yeah, it just sits right there. You can peel this sticker off. That kind of goes through the settings and everything. But again, heat, no heat. This just directs it. Let's go over some measurements. With it at the flat setting, it stands 32 inches or 81 centimeters. Left to right, 32 inches or 82 centimeters also. Let's go over the complete height with it in its vertical position, 46 inches or 117 centimeters. The base itself, 11 inches or 30 centimeters. I'm sorry, yeah, 12 inches or 11 centimeters or 31 centimeters. So it has a remote control. The remote control, I can turn it on and off with. And I can only turn the heat on with this switch up here. So when this switch is like this, the air's coming out these vents here and it's just cool air. It's just a fan. But when I want the air to come out the heater, this is the ceramic heater right here. I'm going to move this manually. Now the display changes to red. And now I can change the temperature up. And there's even 2 modes of operation for the heater. There's kind of like a gentle heat and like a max heat. And it actually does put out a lot of hot air right here. I can direct the air with this little vent right here. When I'm in heat mode, there's no air that comes out of these side vents at all. I can still do the oscillation in heat mode. I can do 45, 190, 180, or 0. I still have the timer. I can go to 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, or 8 hours. And then I can turn it off also. Now when I turn it off, if I've got the heater on, it's not going to turn off right away. It's going to continue to blow a little bit of air across that heater as it cools down. And then it turns it off. So let's go back to, the heater works really well. Let's go back to the coolness. Now I can turn this, I manually have to turn it like this. If I want a vertical, I have to move these whichever way I want the air to come out. So let's turn it back on. I'm in cool mode and let's go to max. So I got to see how that displays blue now. There's night. It turns the display off and goes to a really low setting. So in night mode, there's what it sounds like. Airflow's coming out really low. Let's go to this max. Yeah, there's the max. Oscillate it. Again, no airflow coming out here. It's all coming out this little blade. I can rotate it like this. I could have one go up, one go down. I can even rotate it like that. I could have, yeah, that would be a really cool way. The display matches what this remote, and you just simply store the remote on the back. It's held on with a magnet. 6-foot long cord. What's really impressive though is the amount of heat that comes out of there. And then that display changes, and I can set the temperature of the room I want it to be all the way up to 90 degrees. So when the room reaches 90 degrees, it'll shut the heater off automatically, but then as the room cools down, it'll turn the heater back on. So that's just a nice feature. Oh, and I could move it with this remote too. I don't have to have it oscillating all the time. I can just press that and direct it, and it'll stop whenever I stop pressing the button. There. Yeah, the heater kind of starts off slow, builds up the heat, and then the heater comes on a little hotter. But that is a lot of hot air coming out. It's kind of focused. It's not spread out like the coolness, but I can feel the heat really far away. Wow. It's actually a really good heater. Now, I did buy this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, but I do use links. So in this video, you may see a pop-up. In the description, I've got links, and on my website, justadadapproved.com. So this is definitely Just a Dad approved because of how much heat it puts off. That is very impressive, how much heat it puts off. I do like that it kind of looks like a piece of furniture, especially if you put it in a corner and you rotate this up, it doesn't look like a traditional fan. Now they do sell one of these without a fan, without a heater. And I will be comparing it to the one without the heater. But man, that heater is nice. I did not think the heater was going to put out much heat. I think I could heat this small room rather quickly with it. And I love that the remote, you can see everything just like you would on the front display. The temperature, you do have to kind of point it at it. It is infrared. You can't just point it over here, but the modes, everything. So that's a nice remote. That's the temperature it's set at. When it reaches 80 degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to turn off and then kick back on when it cools down. So if you're worried about the heater not putting out much heat, it actually does. And I can control, there's 2 modes. The modes are only available on the remote. There's a gentle heat when it's in that mode right there, which it does put out a gentle heat. And then there's max heat when it's like a house. Like it's trying to heat the whole house, I guess. But then then the other mode is just controlling it by temperature. You're not really controlling the fan per se when you're in heat mode. When you're in cool mode, you're controlling the fan speed. So again, I've got to come up here and physically, I can't go from cold to heat with the remote. I got to physically move that button. This does have tip over protection. So if the unit tips over, it's supposed to turn off. Yeah, it turned. I heard a switch click. So if it tips over, also if say you have it in a really small room and the room starts to over temp, it'll turn the unit off also. And then you just got to unplug it and let it sit for a little bit. Yep, this will make a nice addition if you're looking to add some heat to the room. And then when you want to put it, you can have that directed for cool air during the summer. So again, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. That's where all the products that I highly approve of are. And if you, but I do use links on my website. So if you click on a link on my website, it'll take you to Amazon, where I am an affiliate. The product won't cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. I hope this video helps. Thanks everybody for watching. I review hundreds of robots and vacuum cleaners so you don't have to. I purchase these with my own money. That way I can give you my honest opinion. And there are some robots that I highly recommend, like the Mova P10 Pro. It's my 2025 absolute favorite robot. And on my website, you can find it as my #1. But also when it goes on sale, sign up for my email. I send an email out when that robot or other robots that I highly recommend. I just sent an email out today. This was on sale for $300, and you can see it's one of my favorites. Here's what my website looks like. Here's where you can sign up for the email list. If you scroll down here, here's the current robots that are on sale. All you gotta do is click on the button there. It's gonna take you to Amazon. And here are my #1 through #12 picks. And I'm adding others as the price goes down. And I will be adding the Dreamy Matrix 10, the Mova, Mobius 60. I also review other products. So up here, I do carpet cleaners. These are my best portable spot cleaners and upright cleaners. These are ones that I have tested and absolutely love. And you can find the video for these also. I even have some fun categories, gifts dads will love, gifts under 50. These are just items that I have myself that I use all the time. And for a while, I reviewed several coffee makers. So this is just a small list of the coffee makers that I reviewed, but these are some of the best ones. And when I was reviewing coffee makers, I branded my own coffee. Click on Buy My Coffee. It'll take you to my coffee website where you can purchase Just a Dad Simple Sip coffee in the K-Cup form, whole bean, or already ground. There's also a frequently asked questions. There's also a contact me. If you fill that out, if you got a question, I'll try to get to your email as soon as I can. And when the big Amazon deals come up, again, I take pictures. I show you exactly the robots that I approve of, and then I give you a link that's where you can purchase it. Again, if you click on this link, it's going to take you right to Amazon. If you end up purchasing the product doesn't cost you anymore, but I do get a small commission from the sale. I want justadadapproved.com to be your go-to place to find the products that I highly recommend and love, and I know you'll love also. And I'm going to start getting into more written reviews. I know I do a lot of video reviews, but I'm going to start transcribing those into written reviews that are kind of easy to read and followed by a link. Also on Just a Dad Approved, when we have the big sales, we got Black Friday coming up. I'm going to list all the sales and I'll have really quick access for you. So if you're just looking for the best robot to buy, go to justadadapproved.com. There'll be a little spot you can click on and purchase the product. So thanks everybody. I absolutely love what I do and I couldn't do it without your support. I also have channel memberships. So we're having a lot of fun. I'm starting to do more live streams, and in those live streams, you can have a custom emoji. We're having fun with it, kind of spinning mop pads, roller mop pads. So check out my channel membership. It's also another way of helping support my channel. But during these question and answer periods, I'm going to try to schedule them on a regular basis, and you can just ask me any question you would like. Here's my YouTube channel. If you click on memberships, here's what the custom emojis look like. I only have 4 of them so far, but as we get more members, we can create more emojis, and I'll create an emoji to whatever everybody else decides. So thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like, subscribe, and check out my website, justadadapproved.com.